So hello guys, my name is Pranjal Gupta and today I would like to give my 1 month review of ChromeOS Flex. Those of you who don't know, ChromeOS Flex is a newly launched operating system by Google. This is meant for the laptops which came pre-installed with Windows or macOS, but they are running terribly slow or you are having a hard time using it. This operating system, since it is browser based or cloud based to be precise, is much less hardware intensive and can make your laptop or even PCs much faster than it was before. So this is the Avita NE14A2 notebook, and this came pre-installed with Windows 10, and I installed Windows 11. I upgraded to it after a little while, but the experience was quite horrible for me, and to be honest it was extremely laggy, and the CPU graph and task manager was very erratic. I mean, even when the laptop was idle, the CPU usage was almost always at 100%, and yeah, it was pretty erratic because some of the videos would not run properly, or even when while attending meetings or a class, the audio would be choppy or the video would be frozen, or even my camera. I mean, the experience was pretty horrible. So as you can see, I have installed ChromeOS Flex here. The version is 104.0.5087.0. This is the latest version, as you can see. Yeah, your Chrome device is up to date, and this is the dev channel. I mean, when you download the ChromeOS Flex and make the bootable media in the pen drive, the dev channel is the only option to go, because it is not available to download in the stable or the beta channel. However, you can install dev ChromeOS Flex and go to additional details and change the channel here to beta or stable. However, I'm personally sticking on to the developer channel because the updates arrive faster in the dev channel and a bit slower in the beta channel, and after much testing the update comes to the stable channel. However, if you want more stability, you can switch to the beta or stable channel, but personally I'm not going with it. One thing I noticed is that in the previous version this used to mention Google ChromeOS Flex. Now it just mentioned Google Chrome OS, and the logo has also been changed from the previous versions. So it's quite a nice experience. Now when it comes to speed, in Windows, you may have noticed that while launching any app, especially Chrome for that matter, between the time duration between the pressing of the button, I mean, if I bring the cursor here, the time duration between pressing of the button and the window opening is almost 4 to 5 seconds. So let me try it in the Chrome OS. So I'm pressing the button now. You can see the window almost opened immediately and the browser is ready. You may argue that this is Chrome OS Flex, so Chrome is bound to open very fast here. So let me try with the Files app. So this is the alternative to Windows Explorer. So I'm pressing the button now. You can see the window opened almost immediately. So now let me come to the apps that are present here. So Chrome OS, or Chrome OS Flex for that matter, is famous for their web apps. So what are web apps exactly? Web apps are the apps which are installed through a web browser, to be exact. For example, here you can see I have installed Office here, or for example Zoom for that matter, but this is not an actual Zoom app, to be exact. So if I open it, you can see it opens as a normal Zoom app as you would expect it to. Join meeting and sign in option is there, and if you press the join meeting option, yeah, it's asking for the meeting ID. But if you press the three buttons here, you can see that it is actually opening a website within the window that is pwa.zoom.us, that is progressive web app. These are apps designed to be like website but can be opened as a separate app. So it is not technically installing an app, but rather installing uh, a link to a particular website. So web apps, the experience are quite nice because the resources that are being used are not of the particular machine that the operating system is installed on. They are utilizing the resources of the server they are based on. For example, Zoom is utilizing Zoom servers, Google Meet is utilizing Google Meet servers, and so on. So progressive web apps are quite fast here, as you would expect it to be in any of the operating system. So ChromeOS Flex supports another type of apps that is the Linux apps. Yeah, you can install Linux apps here. So what you have to do is go to the settings app. Yeah, it's available here. Go to advanced developers and select the Linux development environment. So I have already turned it on, but if you have not turned it on, there would be a turn on option somewhere over here, and after you select it, some specifications would be asked, and it would download almost 450 megabytes for all the files necessary, and install Linux virtual machine on this computer. So one weird thing is that Chrome OS is itself based on Linux, but if I go to the terminal here, yeah, this runs the Penguin container. So let me type the neofetch command. So those of you who don't know, neofetch is a command used in Linux. I mean, it's actually you can install it, you have to install it. So this displays the version number, the Linux distro that you're using, and all the information. So let me press enter, and as you can see, this is running Debian Linux 11, that is Bullseye, on Chrome OS. So this is specifically built for Chrome OS, and you can see the host is CROS VM, that is Chrome OS virtual machine. So as I've already guessed, this is running on a virtual machine. So the weird thing is that Chrome OS is based on Linux, but it is running a virtual machine. So an operating system based on Linux is running a virtual machine for Linux. So it's a bit odd, to be precise. So as you can see, the CPU here is N4000 CPU Celeron. This is quite a low performing chip, but the experience is pretty snappy in this range. So the next thing I would like to come here is for the coders or the programmers. So if you like to program in any language like Python, Java, I have tried with these two languages. So, and I mainly code in Java, so I can show the tutorial how to code in Java here. So if you are a beginner, this is this makes perfect sense, because when I had first learned my when I first had my Java class, I had been taught with the BlueJ IDE, and then I moved on to IntelliJ. But installing those applications, those IDEs, in this PC would be a terrible idea, because they are quite heavyweight applications and they can affect the performance of this operating system. So instead, I'm going to show you a way to code in Java without using those IDEs. So first, you have to open the terminal, then type the command sudo apt get default JDK. So Java Development Kit. This will install OpenJDK, by the way. Oh, sorry, I missed install. So apt get install default JDK. This would install the OpenJDK, but since I've already installed, you can see default JDK is already the newest version, that is 11. So if you install it, then you have to press the key to confirm it and press enter, and the system will install Java here. So now that you have installed Java, I will now tell you how to actually code in it. So let's go to the text tab and open a new file. So I will just create a hello world program here. So public class, let's name it example. So let's first save the file so the indentation becomes quite clear. So example dot java, you have to give the extension Java specifically, or it would save itself using the txt extension, which is not desirable at all. So you would want to install it in the Linux files directory, because so that the Linux can access the file. So example.java and not txt. So as you can see, the public class example is already green. So now if I press the enter key, it will automatically indent the entire text file. So let me create the main method. So I will just print it that hello world. So let me give a space. I think it should run it. So I just press Ctrl S. I'm opening the files so that you can view it in real time. Now let's go to the terminal. You can see the Linux file already has the file example.java in it. So let's go to the bash shell. Now I have to compile it, I have to give the command javac, that is java compile example dot java. This would take some time based on the amount of coding that we have done. So you can see example.class is created. So the class file has been created. Now the next step would be java example. This would take the example.class and display the program here. So as you can see, hello world has been displayed here. So Java works here. I mean, actually this is a more desirable way to code Java, because the way BlueJ works is a bit differently, because in that case that string args portion is has to be omitted generally. So and it is a bit easier version of Java in BlueJ, so that makes it a bit difficult while programming later on. So these were the advantages of installing ChromeOS Lex. Now let's come to the slightly more disadvantageous part. So right at the bat, this laptop came with an SD card port which does not work. I have tried it, which it does not work. Another bad news is that the aux port, that is the headphone jack, also, I mean, it works. The sound does come out through the headphones, but it also comes out through the built-in speakers, and the microphone of the headphone does not work. So that makes it useless. So I mean, you may wonder how I'm using the mic now. So I have bought this USB to auxiliary port, that is headphone jack dongle, and it is actually a sound card, USB sound card, and it works pretty well. So you can see it detects the thing as USB audio device, USB audio device, and it works pretty well. Now the next thing is it's not I mean, disadvantage really. It depends upon the usage case. So the ChromeOS Lex comes with a built-in handwritten notes app that is cursive. So I have this tablet. It's Huion HS64. So if I use it, yeah, okay. If I use it, you can see the cursor is moving, and that is I mean, it does not detect the pen as a pen but rather as a mouse. So if I open the app, cursive app, you can see if I create a new note, you can see the page here. Let me change the page color a bit so that it becomes a bit easier, if that is possible in this. Yeah, change background. So if I yeah, make a grid, you can easily see the paper here. So the input is quite well. You have highlighters here, many options here, but the one thing, I mean, this overcomes all the advantages, is that you can't adjust the page size, and the whole thing is automatic. But the automatic, I mean automatic in a bad way, because you do not have an option to set the page size. So if you export the thing as PDF, weird things happen. So show in folder. If I open the PDF here, so if I zoom out, you can see the aspect ratio of the page. It is, to be honest, terrible. I mean, many of the times I have to take a print out of it, and if I do it, save as PDF for example, so there is no option to use a, I mean, change the page size. So some of the times, if I mean, imagine someone sending you a PDF which looks like this. You go on scrolling, but it does not seem to end. I mean, the whole document is into one page. So it's a bit inconvenient, and this puts me off. Really puts me off. So this is a really an easy fix, but I don't know why it is not. It has not been implemented. So I had to install an app called Journal Plus Plus through the Linux apps. So if I open it, this also works pretty well. I mean, eraser works, but to be honest, Linux apps are a bit hardware intensive on this laptop. I think this is because the Linux apps are still in beta stage, and the ChromeOS Lex is in developers channel. Yeah, developer channel. But the thing is that it is much slower than the cursive app. I mean, if Google fixes the page size issue, the cursive app would be my go-to app for handwritten notes. Still, I have to manage using the journal app here. It works well. You can export PDFs and annotate PDFs here. It is, I mean, an all-purpose app, but it is a bit slow, and sometimes while erasing some of the portion, the whole app crashes, and you might lose data, which I have and regretted many a times for not saving the file. So that goes. And the gallery app was missing in the previous builds, but now it is available again. Gallery app can also open PDFs and all other some of the files like audio files, video files, etc. And as you can see, it's pretty good. Now if you want to experiment with this one, I would recommend some flags that are already available. Like, let me go to Chrome slash colon slash slash flags. This opens some flags. I would recommend some of the flags that I turned on. That is Productive Experiment Monthly Calendar View. This enables this pretty nice calendar here. I mean, this is quite a handy feature which is already available in Windows, and it is quite nice to have the same thing in ChromeOS here. So the second one is Notifications Revamp. I mean, this creates a really nice way of sorting the notifications and grouping it, and this is quite nice. So I'm coming to this one. Next thing is Productivity Experiment App Launcher. So this really nice app launcher that you see is the result of this lag. Otherwise, the app launcher was like a thick bar at the bottom of the screen that would take up the entire screen when scrolled up. I mean, that was terrible. I really didn't like that. But this launcher is quite handy, and it's quite nice, to be precise. So now this one, the dark light mode of system. I think this is the must have for any operating system. And at first, when I couldn't find it, I was really disappointed in ChromeOS Lex, and now that I have, this is the dark light mode of system UI. So except for some Linux apps, this and for some web apps, this this enables an universal dark mode or light mode in the whole system UI, and also for most of the apps. For example, and this enables this dark theme option here. So if I turn it off, you can see all the things are in a white theme. So this is preferable in daylight, or if you want, you can turn the dark theme on so that at night time you can walk easily. So these were the flags that I experimented on and were quite nice, and I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah. And one thing I would like to mention is that Chrome has an option to view shared drives in a network, but that does not seem to detect the shared drive in my other PC. So that is there is a setback. And I tried giving the server file share URL or the IP address, but it did not seem to work. So that's manageable. I mean, that's not a must-have feature. I mean, I can use a pen drive to transfer it, but it would be a bit easier. So my main complaints are this one: the cursive app, micro SD card, the headphone jack. I mean, if you have a USB to headphone jack dongle, you can make it work most of the time. And yeah, the battery lasts a lot longer in this ChromeOS Lex, so that's an advantage. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. So overall, if you are facing some difficulties running Windows or Mac OS in your laptop, you should definitely try ChromeOS Lex. I mean, if you want to create a bootable media, and even without installing, you can installing it, you can trying out ChromeOS Lex using a live bootable media. There is an option called try it first. So yeah, it works pretty well, but I mean, there are cases that many of the times the whole entire laptop is bricked. That especially happens in case of MacBooks. So MacBook users, be careful. But if you are using Windows operating system, just make sure to especially Windows users, Windows 10 users and Windows 11 users, create a recovery media if possible in a pen drive, and don't touch it if you want to go back to Windows 10 or 11 for any particular reason. So I mean, you have to use that to go back to the Windows. So if you have already created it, that's very good. you can try it out, even install it if you want. So I would highly recommend it for slow laptops and low end hardware. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. So I will be dropping new videos as new features get launched in ChromeOS Flex, as it is still in early development phase. And next month I would be launching a 2 months review of ChromeOS Flex and summarize all the features that will be launched in the future, and even this particular video. So hit the like button if you want, and subscribe to the channel for getting notified to for any further videos or posts that I make. So also do let me know in the comments if you have tried ChromeOS Flex, and what do you think of it. So I think, yeah, this is me, Pranjal, signing off. So bye.